Is this thing on? Let's fucking go. Little scalpel. Listen, this play I'm about to go over was the most perfect thing I've ever seen in my life. And this is probably gonna be like a part two because I have some more trades that I have to go over, but I need this one to be its own video because this is when every box is checked. This is how it goes. And unfortunately, I took this trade after some sloppier performance before. I started the day off green, pretty nice. And then I just started taking some lower quality shit. I ended up red. And I was just like, you know what, if I'm gonna take one more trade, because I took about 3 or 4 losses in a row, and at that point I was just like, book, like maybe it's just time to hang it up. But I'm like, you know what? I will just end the day. If I'm gonna take one more trade, I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna execute it nice. Um, and I'm gonna do it as best I can, man. I'm gonna execute it how I should. I'm gonna stick to the plan, and I'm just gonna have a trade like that, whether it's red, green, purple, it doesn't matter. And this was it right here. Listen, LIDR. This was so 7 to 8 a.m. was we got some action, but going into 8 a.m. it was a little choppy. But then this thing dropped news with Nvidia. And the volume on this thing. Let's just pull up the chart. This is the recording, but I'll show you that in a second. But man, this freaking thing had all the boxes checked. And yeah, I was down pretty good on the day. And I'm just like, you know what, man? I'm going to hit this trade how I normally would hit it. No freaking emotions. No hesitations. And guys, out the gate, this is kind of what we got. That thing dropped Nvidia news. And man, the volume on this thing was incredible. For pre-market volume, I had a lot of conviction on this trade just because look at this, man. We had 5 million, 6 million. For pre-market, this is really great volume. Super good volume. I mean, we were breaking over the 200 on the daily right here. Not something I use too much, but man, I told myself I was going to be patient on this trade because this thing had some freaking FOMO on it, man. It was pretty much like an up only play. It wasn't really giving much pullback here. And I just told myself that I'm going to be patient on this thing. And the way I executed this was just it was incredible, man. It was perfect. And this should serve as the example for trades going forward of how to execute. So let's just go ahead and go to the recording. I unfortunately didn't get to record the whole thing. I only kind of recorded when I was about to take the trade, which is okay. So as you can see, we already made this nice move. It was kind of just ripping and ripping, and it was getting pretty extended. I'm like, we got to start pulling back at some point. And as you can see, we did start getting that first 5-minute flag pullback right here. Listen, the volume box was checked. Had great volume. Did it have news? Yes. Nvidia news, great catalyst. This thing had a pretty decent float, less than 20 million. That's okay. That box is checked. Price action, pretty great. This is great looking price action. And guys, it just had the qualities of a great home run, high probability trade. So I made sure that I traded it as such. And again, I traded this one. I don't, not thinking about if it was a winner or if it was a loser, but the execution and how I took this trade and how I planned it out and stuck to my plan is what should be evaluated as whether this is a good trade or not. So here we go. This was a beautiful 1 minute setup, a bigger 1 minute flag setup right here. It broke out of that. Found some resistance up here at 316. Came up again, found resistance again, and then we started getting that pullback. The only thing was we were a little bit extended off the 5-minute 8 here, but guys, this stock was strong. Everybody and their mother was probably watching this thing because there wasn't much else going, and the volume that was coming in on this thing was really, you couldn't look away from it. So I'm telling you, but probably about 99% of people had their eyes on this play. So I knew that if it gave me my setup, that the probability was going to be pretty high for it to work. And when I seen this pulling back right here, you know, I wasn't guessing the dip. I was waiting. I said, I am going to wait. You see all these candles are just pulling back. I said, I'm going to wait for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high because this came down. It's testing the 1 minute 20. You also have VWAP right here. If we come down here, hold this area, as soon as this thing makes the first 1 minute candle to make a new high, that's when I was planning to take an entry on this thing. Additionally, what made it even better was the timing, because this 5 minute candle only had about a minute left in it. So what I like seeing is this pullback candle, the next candle open and start to push green. So I was also waiting to get some good timing on this. Let's fast forward just a little bit, because you see we're still pulling back here. I'm not entering yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for confirmation. Just some simple confirmation. And my simple confirmation is that first 1 minute candle to make a new high. So look at this. That 5 minute candle is about to close. It only has 15 seconds left. We're starting to get some bottom wicks here. I'm getting ready, man. I have my, you know, I'm ready to hit the trigger on this, and I'm ready to slap my entry. You can see I'm preparing. I'm preparing to take full size on this thing. I was ready. I'm like, this is a great trade. Has amazing news. It's setting up just how I like it, and I was ready to execute it like a freaking champion here. Okay, so here we go. I'm even more ready here. We got some bottom wicks, bottom wicks. The first 5 minute candle opens. What you want to see is this candle start to be the push candle. We want to see this one reverse off of this area, start pushing for this target here, and ultimately new highs. And my trigger is the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. So if this candle right here breaks the high of this previous candle, boom, I'm a buyer there. And I want to show you something on the level 2 over here as well. I'm watching close. I'm watching close. I'm looking for this one to break that last high right there. So look at this. Look at the level 2 here. Boom, right there. Look at this. This is also something I didn't really see it in the moment. A big bidder just stepped up at 279. So as we're anticipating this to start pushing on the 5 minute here, a bidder steps up to support it. And as soon as this 1 minute candle makes a new high right here, boom, I'm in there. Full position, risking off the low of this pullback. And that is the system right there. That first 1 minute candle to make a new high after that first beautiful 5 minute pullback. And look at this 5 minute flag. Lower volume on the red candles right here, which is good. And I'll risk the low of this pullback. If it breaks this low and wants to try to continue lower, I would have just taken my loss. As you can see, this 5 minute candle that's opened up is starting to look like that push candle. And I waited for that confirmation, that first 1 minute. Look at all these candles right here. None of these 1 minute candles were making new highs. So I waited. I let it keep pulling back, and as soon as that's my trigger right there. Look at this, and we immediately start getting a nice push. We had that bidder support. My first target's right here, about 297s. I was looking to take half off the table. Look at this. We're already up pretty good. Let's see when I got my first scales here. I have a great average on this thing. I'm risking less than 10 cents a share. I'm definitely looking to take some profits off the table because you have a wick here, a wick here, a wick here. So we can anticipate it's going to have a little bit of trouble in this area. You can see there's a big seller at 295s. There's going to be some resistance here. Once we start testing that, boom, I scaled half right there. Managing my risk. Taking some profits off the table. I'm up really nice on this trade. Now, the next target is new high of day. All right, up here at 316s. And as you can see, this is playing out beautifully already. Beautiful 5 minute flag setup right here. And what happens next is healthy. This thing starts to make a 1 minute flag. So you'll see it start breaking out on the 5 minute here. It's going to set up a nice 1 minute flag. Give some more people a chance to get in that might have missed this entry like I got right here. And then we want to see a push. I'm not going to go too in depth of what we're seeing here because you see how we have resistance here. So that's why I take some off the table because, you know, if we can't break above this level and we come back down and then test my risk off right here, I would have got none off the table and I would have had a break even or even a red trade, and you don't want to do that. So I always have gotten into the habit of finding my first smaller target and then a second bigger target. Look at this beautiful 1 minute flag set up here. We had a little bit of resistance up at that first target that I had, which is perfectly fine because we have a nice 1 minute flag right here. Now we want to see this thing break out. I want to see this start to go. If we see it start to like break down right here, I'm gonna be like, might stop off the rest break even, or I'll just hold my original risk off. But I'm holding still my second half, and I want to see this beautiful. Listen, man, everybody is watching this play, and these simple candlestick patterns. It's like Ross Cameron talks about. These are self-fulfilling prophecies because this has so much volume. There's so many eyes on it, and so many traders are watching these candlestick patterns that they pretty much just work out for themselves. And I told myself here, this is such a high quality play. I definitely want to look for that new high up here. And as you can see, we start getting a push right here. I'm getting ready to take some more profits off the table if we get that push. And guys, man, this thing, you can see we got a big seller at $3. So $3 is going to be resistance. I mean, that's the whole dollar psychological resistance level. That's to be expected. But look at this push, man. Look at this push. Starting to test that target again where the resistance is. We're about to break $3. Starting to break $3. I take a little bit more off the table here. I'm kind of just chipping it away. Took another 50 off right there. I still got 200 shares left of this thing. Up almost $100. Watch this. We're starting to come up to this level to test 316s. You can see there's clear resistance here. We got sellers here. Even looking at the ladder here, it's a pretty heavy level. But man, that shit just disappeared right here. Look at this shit. Boom! Right into the 325s level. Beautiful. And guys, I start taking profits up here. 100%, man. 100%. I was not expecting such a nice little breakout there. But honestly, I'm not surprised with the volume this thing had. But with how extended it was, I mean, it was a little bit technically extended, but this gave such a nice pullback. Man, look at that. This is I should frame this. This is my strategy, and this is exactly how it should have been executed. And honestly, this needs to be compared to my other trades. This is how you execute it. I wasn't impatient. I didn't guess on the dips down here. You know, I didn't try to be like, oh, maybe it's going to hold here. I'll just buy here. Because what if it keeps pulling back? And then you get caught in an emotional position, and then once you finally cut it, reverses. No. I waited for that simple confirmation, and the simple confirmation is that 1 minute candle to make a new high. You can see the volume picks back up right there. It sets up a nice 1 minute flag, and then it breaks out for new highs. I just wanted to make a video strictly on this play because this is as A+ as it gets. Seriously, this is as A+ as it gets. You can see I made well over $100 on this trade. And yeah, man, if you can be patient for these bullish ass setups like this, you're going to be consistently profitable if you trade things like this, man. I'm telling you. And this thing just had it all. I was so prepared for this. Even after those emotional trades before this, and the sloppy trades I was taking, this one felt natural to me. And I'm super glad that I didn't hesitate on this trade. And I didn't even feel like I was going to hesitate on it. I was freaking ready for it. And I'm like, you know what? I said I'm going to take one more trade on the day, and I said I'm going to execute it like a professional, and this is how you professionally execute the freaking 5 minute flag setup, baby. Let's fucking go. Peace.